Have you ever felt like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? Perhaps there are days when the pain seems unbearable, whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual. You try to keep going, but it feels as if each step is harder than the last. The burdens seem heavy, and the answers elusive. Have you felt alone in your struggles, as though no one truly understands the depth of your pain? It is in moments like these that we need to be reminded of the truth in Psalm 147:3, where God promises to heal the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds. This powerful promise isn't just about emotional healing. It's about the restoration of our entire being, body, soul, and spirit. God sees you in your pain. He knows your struggles, and He is more than able to heal and restore what is broken within you. God's healing power is not only about curing physical ailments, but also about healing the hidden wounds of the heart, the places where hurt, disappointment, and fear dwell. Just as we seek physical healing when we are unwell, we must also seek emotional and spiritual healing when we are broken. God promises that He will never leave us in our suffering. He is a God who heals, who restores, and who comforts. Welcome to Daily Prayer, your sacred moment to pause, reflect, and reconnect with God. Whether you are facing physical pain, emotional distress, or spiritual dryness, this prayer is for you. If you're seeking comfort and healing, know that you are not alone. You may be struggling with feelings of abandonment, fear, anxiety, or even chronic illness. Whatever your pain is, bring it before God now. He sees you, He knows your heart, and He is ready to heal you. Today, we are going to pray for healing in every area of your life. We'll ask God to heal not just the visible wounds, but the deep, hidden wounds of the heart and soul. As we pray, let us remind ourselves that God is not distant or indifferent to our suffering. He is near to the brokenhearted, and He is willing to restore, heal, and renew us. Have you ever felt that your heart was so broken that it felt beyond repair? Have you ever been in a situation where you thought healing was impossible? Perhaps you've experienced pain that no human could understand or find words to soothe. It's in these moments, where words fall short and human understanding fails, that we need to trust in God's promise of healing. Healing doesn't always come in the way we expect. Sometimes it's a gradual process where God works in us and through us over time. Other times, it's a moment of divine intervention where God's presence fills us with peace. His touch brings instant comfort, and His power heals the wounds that we thought could never be mended. Regardless of how healing comes, we know that it is God who heals. He is the Creator, the great physician, and the comforter. Whether it's physical illness, emotional wounds, or spiritual pain, God's healing power transcends all. His word promises that He will restore our souls. When we face illness or pain, it's easy to question why these things happen. Why do we suffer? Why do we experience pain that seems unending? It's important to remember that God has a purpose for every season of our lives. And though suffering is a part of this fallen world, we can take heart knowing that God will use these moments for our good. He doesn't promise to keep us from pain, but He promises that He will be with us in our pain. He is near to the brokenhearted, and He will heal our wounds. His presence is the greatest comfort in the midst of our pain. When we trust Him with our hearts, we invite His healing touch to restore His body, mind, and spirit. As we begin this prayer, I encourage you to surrender your pain to God. Open your heart to His healing power. Whether it's physical illness, emotional hurt, or a sense of spiritual dryness, trust that God's healing touch can bring restoration. You don't need to carry this burden alone. God is with you, and He is ready to heal. God sees the depth of your pain, and He wants to heal you. Healing is not just a physical restoration. It's a spiritual, emotional, and relational renewal. We may not always understand why we go through trials, but we can be certain that God's healing power is available to us. We don't need to stay stuck in our pain. We can walk in the freedom and peace that come from trusting God with our hearts and lives. As we move into the time of prayer, remember that you are not alone. God is with you. He sees your pain, and He promises to heal you. Trust Him to heal your heart, your body, and your spirit. Trust that His timing is perfect, and that He is working in you even now. When we experience pain, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, it often feels like we're in a battle we cannot win. We carry the weight of our suffering day after day, and sometimes it feels as though there is no end in sight. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the heaviness of our burdens, to feel that no one understands or can help us, and to wonder if healing is even possible. Yet, Psalm 147:3 offers us a powerful promise. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. This promise speaks to the deepest part of our being, where pain and suffering take root. God sees the heartache that others may not be able to see, and He is ready to heal us in ways that only He can. The healing that God offers is not just physical, but emotional and spiritual as well. He heals the broken parts of us that we may feel are beyond repair. God's healing power is far beyond human understanding. He is the great physician who knows exactly what we need when we need Italiano. While the world may try to offer solutions to our pain, true healing comes only from Him. Whether it's a physical ailment, a mental struggle, or a deep emotional wound, God has the power to restore, to heal, and to make us whole again. We often look for ways to fix our pain through external means, whether it's medicine, therapy, or seeking comfort from others. While these can be helpful, they are not the ultimate answer. True healing, the kind that goes deep into our hearts and souls, comes from God alone. It's in His presence that we find the peace that transcends our circumstances, and it's through His touch that we experience true restoration. God's promise is not only to heal the physical, but He also wants to restore us spiritually and emotionally. How many of us have experienced the weight of emotional wounds that seem to never heal? The pain of rejection, betrayal, grief, or loneliness can feel unbearable, and no amount of time seems to lessen the pain. But the healing God offers is a journey of trust, faith, and surrender. When we come to God with our brokenness, He doesn't just heal us in a moment. He walks with us through the process of restoration. But healing requires our trust. We must surrender our pain to God, letting go of the need to control the process or to understand how it will happen. Healing often takes time, and sometimes we may not see immediate results, but we can trust that God is working behind the scenes, tending to our wounds and preparing us for a future filled with hope and peace. In the same way a doctor might guide a patient through the process of recovery, God is with us every step of the way, offering comfort, peace, and encouragement along the journey. We are never alone in our pain. God is with us, and He is working to heal every part of our being. One of the most beautiful things about God's healing is that it is holistic. When we seek His healing, we are not just asking for relief from our symptoms. We are asking for complete restoration, body, mind, and spirit. God does not ignore the deeper parts of us. He sees the hurts that are hidden from others and offers healing that reaches to the very core of our being. Whether it's an emotional scar from the past, a fear for the future, or the physical pain that limits our lives, God's healing touch is capable of restoring us in ways that no human effort can match. It's important to remember that God is healing doesn't always come in the form we expect. Sometimes, He heals through prayer and miraculous intervention. Other times, He heals through the process of time, where we experience gradual restoration as we grow in faith and trust. Sometimes, His healing comes through others through the love and support of family, friends, or even medical professionals. But no matter the method, God is always the source of healing, and He is always at work in our lives, bringing us closer to wholeness. We must also recognize that healing doesn't mean the absence of pain or difficulty. Even when God heals us, we may still face challenges. But the difference is that, with God's healing, we no longer face our struggles alone. We have His strength, His peace, and His presence to carry us through. Healing doesn't mean that we are without hardship, but that we are never without hope. As we go through life, we will undoubtedly experience times of pain, loss, and suffering. But when we place our trust in God, we can be confident that He will heal us. He is the one who restores our souls, who binds up our wounds, and who renews our strength. When we trust in His healing power, we invite Him to work in our lives in ways that go beyond our understanding, bringing us to a place of peace, comfort, and restoration. There are moments in life when the weight of pain becomes unbearable. Whether we are struggling with physical illness, emotional heartache, or spiritual weariness, it can feel like the darkness will never lift. It's easy to get lost in our pain, to feel like it defines who we are, and that we will never be whole again. But Psalm 147:3 gives us the reassurance that God sees our pain and that He has the power to heal the brokenhearted and bind up our wounds. God's healing is not just a temporary relief from our suffering. It is a complete restoration that brings wholeness to our lives. When God heals, He doesn't just patch up the visible wounds. He goes deeper, reaching the parts of our hearts and minds that are scarred by past experiences, trauma, or deep-rooted pain. God's restoration is holistic. It touches every aspect of who we are and brings peace to the places that we thought could never heal. This restoration process is not always immediate, and it doesn't always happen in the way we expect. Sometimes, healing is a gradual process, where God works in us day by day, leading us through the pain and helping us grow in faith, patience, and trust. But through it all, God's promise is clear. He will never leave us in our brokenness. He's always working to bring us back to a place of peace, hope, and restoration. God's healing brings peace to our souls. When we experience true healing, it's not just about physical recovery or relief from our symptoms. It's about experiencing the peace that comes with knowing we are restored and made whole. This peace isn't a temporary feeling that fades when our circumstances change. It is to deep, lasting peace that comes from God Himself. God is the source of true peace, and His peace transcends all understanding. It's a peace that can fill us, even in the midst of hardship. A peace that guards our hearts and minds when anxiety and fear try to overwhelm us. When we trust God for healing, we also trust Him for His peace to fill our lives, bringing comfort and strength to carry us through whatever we face. It's important to remember that healing and peace are interconnected. You cannot experience true peace without first allowing God to heal your heart. The wounds we carry, whether emotional, spiritual, or physical, can weigh us down and make it difficult to experience peace. But when we trust in God's healing power, we open ourselves up to the peace that He freely offers. The two go hand in hand. God heals, and then He fills us with His peace, restoring our hearts and giving us strength for the journey ahead. Many times, we try to carry our burdens alone, thinking that we must fix everything ourselves. But God calls us to surrender our pain to Him. He invites us to bring our brokenness before Him and trust that He will heal us. Healing requires humility. It requires us to acknowledge our pain and admit that we need God's help. It requires us to let go of our control and trust that God knows what is best for us. Healing can be a difficult and painful process. There may be moments when we feel frustrated, when the healing seems slow or incomplete. But even in those moments, God is working. He is always at work in our lives, and His timing is perfect. We may not understand why certain things happen, but we can trust that God's plans for us are good. He is using our pain to shape us into the people He has called us to be. As we walk through the process of healing, we must remember that God is with us every step of the way. We are never alone in our pain. He is the one who carries us, strengthens us, and heals us. We may face setbacks, but we can trust that He will never give up on us. His love is constant, His faithfulness unwavering, and His healing power limitless. God promises that He will heal the brokenhearted. He will bind up our wounds and restore us. When we are willing to trust Him, He will bring peace to our hearts and minds, and He will restore us to wholeness. This peace is not just a feeling. It is a deep, abiding presence that comes from knowing we are safe in the arms of our Heavenly Father. As we reach the final part of this prayer, it is important to remember that God's healing power is not just for the physical realm. It extends deeply into the spiritual and emotional areas of our lives. The promise of healing that God offers is not just about fixing the external circumstances, but about transforming our hearts, minds, and souls. God's healing is thorough. It is complete. It restores us fully, bringing us back to wholeness in ways we could never imagine. Psalm 147:3 speaks to this total restoration. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. God sees our brokenness, whether it's seen by others or hidden deep within us. He knows the areas where we feel shattered, isolated, or defeated. But He also promises that He will heal every broken part of us. This healing might not always come in the form we expect, nor on the timeline we desire. But we can trust that God's way of healing is perfect and suited to our specific needs. It's often in the waiting that we experience the deepest lessons, the greatest moments of growth, and the most profound encounters with God's love. When we allow ourselves to trust Him during our pain, we are invited into a deeper relationship with Him. one where our hearts are transformed and we are made whole in His presence. God's healing power is also a peace-giving power. When God heals, He also fills us with a peace that surpasses understanding. This peace is not just the absence of fear or pain, but the presence of God Himself within us. It is a peace that settles into our hearts, providing calmness even when the storms of life rage around us. It's a peace that holds us steady when anxiety tries to knock us off balance. A peace that assures us that we are loved, valued, and seen by God. As we reflect on God's promises, it's important to remember that healing is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. There are moments when we experience immediate relief and comfort, but there are also moments when healing is slow and gradual. However, every moment, whether quick or long-lasting, is an opportunity to grow closer to God. Every moment of pain can be a stepping stone toward deeper trust in His faithfulness and love. Healing requires us to trust God's timing. Sometimes, we may wish for a healing to happen immediately. We may ask, why is this taking so long? Why is the pain still here? But God's timing is perfect, and His ways are beyond our understanding. We may not always know why we go through seasons of suffering, but we can trust that God is using those seasons to refine us, to make us more like Him, and to prepare us for what He has planned for our future. One of the most beautiful aspects of God's healing is that it also brings restoration to our relationships. When we experience healing, we become more whole, and we are better able to offer love and forgiveness to others. Healing brings us closer to God, and it brings us closer to one another. Through the healing power of God, we learn to walk in grace, mercy, and compassion just as God has shown those same qualities to us. When we trust God for healing, we are not only trusting Him to heal our bodies, but we are also trusting Him to heal our spirits. We are trusting Him to heal the wounds of our past, to restore our hope for the future, and to renew our strength for the present. God is not a distant observer in our suffering. He's intimately involved in our healing journey. His love for us is beyond measure, and He is committed to bringing healing and restoration to every area of our lives. Whatever your pain may be, whatever you are struggling with, God is right there with you, offering His healing touch. As we close this prayer, I encourage you to surrender your pain to God. Whether you are struggling with physical illness, emotional distress, or spiritual dryness, let God heal you. Allow Him to touch the places of hurt in your life and bring restoration to every broken part of you. When we trust in God's healing power, we open ourselves to His perfect peace, His perfect timing, and His perfect restoration. His healing may not always come the way we expect, but we can trust that it is always good, always complete, and always perfect.